Good job, Tribal Acre fam. That only took me 3 attempts to hit, but I got it. All right, so I got some updates for you guys. Today, my update is I'm actually gonna show you guys the finished goat pen first. I have a lot of updates for you on the farm, but we're gonna start with this one first. Okay, so I might just go ahead and do this video as a massive update. So okay, so I know that there's gonna be on this video of the starting of the goat pen and the finished product. So as you'll see in this video, we'll go ahead and show you the beginning of what this goat pen looked like, and then what it looks like now. So here we go. All right, so what we got going on right here is the old chicken coop. As you can see, I've already started of what it used to look like, where the chickens used to be. So what I'm about to do is I've already got these boards removed here, here, and there. I'm gonna try and drop all the boards down on the sides to touch each other more, and then add 3 more around the whole thing. And then this is gonna be sectioned off here, and this is gonna be a gate, and that's gonna be a gate, and it's gonna be a 2-stall pen for hopefully some animals we have coming soon. I won't spoil a surprise for you yet, but we're gonna clean this thing up and make it look better than it did before, but also make it look more like a stall, and kind of close it in and give more, a little bit more protection from the weather and stuff. See our emus, how big they're getting. That's probably Jelly Bean over there, and this is Gumball, I'm sure, right here. But they've gotten so big so quick. They're working on their 3rd month. They're not, I think, well, actually I think they're about 3 months. We're working on close to getting there, but they've gotten a lot bigger too. So I know that I want to show you guys the progress of how they're doing, getting bigger. But things are coming along really good here on the farm, so I hope you guys are enjoying the progress and how we're moving forward for things, and how things are progressing and looking. So it's exciting times here. So I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna have some video going on this, just so you kind of see just the process of what this is gonna look like, and so a few clips of that, and maybe some of the emus running around and stuff too. So I can't wait to show you guys what this even just looks like at the end, even just with just adding some wood and making it look more better than it does now. So so here is the finished product of the goat pen. Okay, I'm gonna walk around here, don't pay attention to other things that I have not shown you guys yet. But so what we did here is there was already clearly a walkway between the old chicken coop and the pig pen. So because our emus and love messing, chasing our goats that I haven't showed you yet, we put this little gate here, puts a walkway in here, because right now the goats are just fenced off in a certain area. Okay, so as you can see, like I told you about last time, we're boarding it up on the sides, kept this door here. So here is the opening. As you can see, we boarded off here sections. This out the way real quick. Put these doors in. They just slide on here with latches here on both sides. The pins are pretty big, but this is called the Tiki Hut. Hence the Tiki Man right here that we have. He's mostly just used to keep the gates open during the day, but this is what it finally turned out looking like. We caged it in the inside up here to keep it actually totally enclosed. I ended up putting a new tarp on here, but I did it a little differently because of when it rained. So I went and left this part hanging down. It provides more shade for the goats and keeps some rain out as well. But just got standard feed buckets and waters in here, and we're just testing things out to see what works for them the best. Right now it's fenced in and messed up already, but We just got a little fencing area right now of this area for them. We'll work on doing something, but as you can see, this is Violet. This is one of our girl goats that we got, and this is our baby Pumpkin. She is only what, almost 2 weeks old. No, she's 2 weeks old today. Yeah, 2 weeks old today. That is not her mama. This is a girl goat that we got before we got her. We actually had her mama, and we got her a little over a week ago, and her mama together. Now, before we got her mom, well, not before. Well, when we got her mom, we didn't know that she had a disease called pica, I believe is what it's called, where goats like to eat everything. And before she had gotten onto our farm, the previous owners, I guess, had maybe some trash laying around or whatever, and she'd gotten into it. So after about 4 or 5 days here with us, she started to get really sick, not really moving or being proactive at all. She was actually laying down for a day. We noticed today that she started having issues not moving, being like she was dizzy or whatever, and then she began to get bloated. So we rushed her as fast as we could to our vet, who actually does like livestock animals and stuff, but it's over 40 minutes away. So when we were 10 minutes away from actually getting her to the vet, she ended up passing away in the back of the car. So that was not something that we wanted to happen. But anyways, before I go on, we ended up getting the autopsy report back the next day, that they had found some Walmart bags, Dollar General bags, tarps, pieces of tarps, and bungee cord inside of her stomach, and that they had been there a while, and that this is what ended up pretty much causing like clogs in her bloating and causing blockages, so she couldn't be released. So this is what ended up happening with her. So unfortunately, Pumpkin lost her mom, and so ever since then we've been bottle feeding her, and she stays inside with us at night, so that we have easier access to feeding her and everything. But she is precious, precious, and we love her, and she loves us for the most part. But I'll grab her so you guys can see her a little closer. But this is Pumpkin. Say we had this is our first time bottle feeding an animal, so we had some issues at first with her, but they say that happens a lot of times, especially since she was already eating off her mom for over a week. But now she eats like a champ, and she's growing really well, and we just love her. So we're just excited of the progress she's making. We haven't had any issues with her. We've been feeding her for almost 6 days, I think now. But that's Violet, and then we do have a boy that we got from the same farm, but during the day he's not in here. So I'll walk you guys out so you can take a look at Jack. If you guys don't recognize this door from a previous video, it's actually went on the original Quack Shack. But when you have stuff and you move it around, you make uses for those things. So we end up using that door, turning it into a different door for that. So that was something cool that we just happened to have, that you don't always have to build something new for those things. But this is Jack. This is our boy. He is 6 months old. I don't know if I already said the girl. I think so. She's a little over 3 months now, about 3.5 months maybe. But he's probably 6.5 months in. But this is our boy, and he stays out during the day. We let him graze around on the farm, and he pretty much stays up on our porch where we keep all our feed and stuff, because he is a fatty, but he is precious as well. And he'll let you pet him. He's super friendly, but he's my buddy for sure. And he follows you around everywhere. So he just gets into everything. He jumps up onto the feed cans up here, but he mostly chills out in the garden bed. This is where he hangs out most of the time, as you can see. And this is where we usually feed him during the day and everything. So he likes being up here. I think he can see everything. He can see the girl goats down there. Yes, and Pumpkin is a girl. I didn't say that, but she's a girl as well. But she gets to do all that as well. So that's down on the goats. Let's go ahead and shoot over to the next thing. So, what's up, Trailbreaker fam? All right, back at it. On to the next part. We've done moved from this side of the farm over here, all the way over here in the corner. All right, so this is a new pen addition we put on next to the current cow pasture, which is for our actual bigger pigs. So these are our 3 Berkshire pigs that we've had now for a couple weeks. So these are 3 Berkshire pigs. These will be pigs that we actually raise for food. So it's a part of the process. We buy food from places, but it's nice to know and empowering to grow your own food and to provide for your family and know where it's coming from and know how it's made and done right. So this is our new pen that I built a couple days ago for our pigs. Okay, this is only 3 of them currently. We'll be getting some more here soon, but these are our 3 current Berkshire pigs we have in here. They're still pretty young at the moment, but they've grown a lot even since they got here. So I'm just gonna go over a brief rundown of this fence right here that we built to kind of show you the scaling of how I did it a little differently of how I've done most of our pens. So you think of most of the time when you have pigs, they can't jump really, and yeah, they can't jump. So I mean, your fence doesn't really have to be that tall for your pigs. But I did some things that I've noticed with our other pigs when escaping pens and stuff like that to help prevent those kinds of things from happening in this pen. So kind of show you, this is a 20 by 20 pen that we built, 20 foot by 20 foot, all the way around. That's the biggest pen we have for any pigs, so which we plan to put a few more pigs in this one, and eventually will be expanded out this way some back into here when all this gets cut down. So yeah, and I just, for covering, I just put a tarp and stringed it off just to give them shade, a place to sleep at night. Water's over here. Food, they get fed. They're pretty much non-grain fed. They've been fed only corn, and then they get slops. They get slop. So anything that's not eaten throughout the house, and then we do slop feed in the morning, and then at night, whatever they don't eat, we toss milk on top of it, and they usually finish it off by the next morning. So it really saves cost feeding pigs that way. If you can feed them, if you have slop to feed your pigs, and that helps. And then we don't have slop that day, with most of the time use corn, but we really are trying not to grain feed them at all. But when we do use grain, it's very little and it's only for maybe a day or so. But we are trying to keep our costs down as low as possible. And not that there's anything wrong with grain feeding them. But they also, of course, eat the grass in here as well. But we're just trying to save costs on raising pigs to help make them cheaper, to save money on it. So this little gate I put right here just to kind of show you. It's a little 4 foot by 3 foot gate. Just has this little lift latch on it here. Swings right open. Get right in there. To show you kind of, guys, the stuff I did was, as you can see, just to keep out predators and stuff, I did put a barbed wire strip all the way around the top at 3 foot tall, because this fence is only a 2 foot fence, just to keep predators and stuff out. And then at the bottom, if you can see, I have a barbed wire strand connected along these posts so that they can't root up the wires and get out. That's the whole point of that right here, is to help them from not rooting. They don't scratch against it, or it's not going to hurt them because they have this whole area, but it just lets them know that if they do try and get out of it, they are going to get pricked. A little not expensive. Another way you can do is electrical fence around the bottom, which is something I want to do in here eventually, but I already have barbed wire in hand from doing the cow pasture, so there's no reason, in my opinion, to go spend more money and put electrical fencing in when I know that that will keep them from doing that alone. And they've been in here for, you know, a little while now, and I haven't had any issues of them trying to do that. And I do try and go around every day, check the pen, make sure that nothing has happened to it, that there is no like dig ups. I'm trying to push wire out, which I'm pretty positive isn't going to happen anyways. But I also raised on the other beds, I used the 2x3. This is a 2x4 instead of a 2x3, a little bit taller board, and then we just concrete in the center and the corners. As you can see, it's my taller 6-foot posts in the middles, 3, 3, and 3, and then I just attached these little ones right here, 2 on each side, and just attach them to the boards. And then that one's just in dirt, and then concrete just connected to the pasture post, and then concrete in that one, and then we just put the little posts in between. So pretty easy and simple concept for a fence and for a pen. They've been fine out here. Eventually, what the plan is, because this will eventually turn into our handling facility for our cows, when this becomes a pasture out here, the handling facility from the pasture will run into here like so, and I'll have a loading ramp over on this side of the property, and this will be able to roll right into the handling facility. So if we need to load up pigs for people that buy pigs from us for themselves, because we'll just sell them straight out, so that they can be loaded right up into the trailer, and it's not a big process. So the handling facility will run into a loadout dock that can go up into a trailer or something. That'll be like right out here, so you can kind of see the distance from that over here, from here. But the handling facility will roll out into here, and we'll have a loading dock out in here. So I thought it'd be great to put the pig area over there for the pigs that we'll actually be selling, to make it easier, especially when they're 500-600 pound pigs. It's a lot simpler to have a ramp for them just to be walking up in and being able to get on someone's trailer or however they're loading them. So that's the pigs, the new addition for that. So I hope you guys are enjoying that stuff, the new updates. I got a few more things to show you guys in this update video, so we're gonna go ahead and check out the next thing. Okay, see you there. All right, so as you guys can see, I'm here with our puppies. They're not really puppies, but to us they are. So there was a family who owned these dogs, one being a Great Anatolian and the other being a Pyrenees. This is Bo right here, this is Bo, and this is Kai. I decided to do this pretty much in their house, though you can't really see the full thing because I'm in here with them, but it's pretty big other than right here. But I just wanted to come in here with them so that you guys can kind of see them. They don't go in here very often, but when they're in here, it's nice and shaded and covered. So but this is Bo right here, and this is Kai. This is our girl, she's our Great Pyrenees, and then our Anatolian is Bo. But like I was saying, there was a family who actually had these dogs, and they didn't live on a farm anymore, so they wanted them to be on a farm, and they knew that they were probably kind of miserable not being on a farm, taking care of animals, and guarding them. So what they wanted to do, hey buddy, what they wanted to do was find a place just to give them a free home. And so we reached out to them and asked if we would be somebody they would consider letting their dogs come live on and do these things again. So we're so happy that they actually ended up choosing us after they came out and visited with us, that they chose our farm. They chose Tribal Acres to let their dogs live and let their dogs do what they're meant to do and called to do. Sorry about the lightning. Probably about to storm here, maybe. But maybe not. But they're just precious. They're great dogs. They do have some training in them already, but we are extending their training on, you know, guarding our animals. So they have been great to us, and the little time we've already had them, we just love them, and we're learning to teach them how to do their job and to do it here effectively on the farm, to guard our animals and to know that they are the ones they're supposed to guard and that they're not the prey. But they do a good job at night keeping anything away. So far we haven't had any incidents since they've gotten here on the farm. They definitely bark a lot during the night, so I mean, I know if I was a bobcat, a coyote, or anything else, I wouldn't want to come in here either. So they've done a great job, but they're precious. They're gorgeous dogs. We'll try and keep them as cool as possible here in the Florida heat and keep them plenty of water, plenty of shade. But they're just precious, and we love them. But I just want to show you guys our dogs real quick, and for Taylor and his wife to get to see them too and see if they're doing well and being loved on here on the farm. So I'm sure you'll see them a lot more in videos to come, but I just want to come in here and show them to you guys as well, as part of our massive update here on the farm. So I'll see you on the next thing, guys. All right, Tribal Acre fam. All right, on to the next addition that we've done. Couple additions right here in this one little clip segment right here. Okay, so first we extended the duck, turkey, geese area. As you can see, we put a fence out here. We came out 20 feet, I believe. I think it was 20 by like 15. So we came out 20 here this way, 15 I think here this way, connected to the donkey pen. I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but we did that and extended it and put a door in, a swinging gate in, because I know before, I don't know if in the previous videos that I said that little cheap gate that was running like from the end of here to there, and it was just a hassle trying to get in and out of this thing every day. So because I hit a rock, of course, trying to put this post in the ground, or this 2x4 in the ground, it wasn't in far enough, so I was having a lot of problems with the gate. So what I did was took a board and connected it here and then straightened out the gate so that we didn't have any issues anymore, and now we can put a sign up here or something. But I thought it was pretty cool. These latches I switched over to, they're pretty inexpensive and they're just easy to get out of for quick access gates for sure. And they don't open up or anything, so you won't have any issues. Also, look at our turkeys. They are getting massive. Massive. Like, look at them. They are actually out here free ranging now, with the rest of the birds. They are out here free ranging. We're doing some fixing up here in the pond. We've had some issues with it leaking. I fixed the leak today. Then we're gonna fix this, kind of like possibly cover all back up in dirt, but just trying to figure out easier ways to help them get up there, because they have been only that little pond over there here for a while. But as you can see, the turkeys have gotten massive. They've grown super quick. They're super friendly, but these are Thanksgiving dinners for our families and our friends. So you see the geese headed over here now. They've gotten big as well, as you can tell. They're just coming over here because I'm over here. But yeah, our geese are just, they've grown leaps and bounds as well. And our ducks as well. Most of our ducks are pretty much full grown, or at least from our first batch. We still have some that are growing in here, but Martha over here we get her confused with a goose all the time when they get put up tonight. But as you can see, their pens all working great. We made the turkey pen just fit in between both of them, made it a little bit bigger. It's got the most birds in it. We just keep fresh hay in there and let the rest compost down. But all that has been working out great. Like I said, the turkeys have been growing. And just like I said, I talked about in the Cornish hen video when we got our first set of meat birds, that we didn't lose a single turkey in poult stage because of magic water. That I think because of the magic water, and of course I just think the Lord just keep giving us favor on our birds and keeping them all alive for us. But thanks to Justin Rhodes for the magic water. I think that helped keep all of our turkeys alive during poult stage, and they're all still thriving, haven't had any with issues or any pass away. So that's been really cool. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is an addition to our chicken coop. I'm gonna go ahead and run you guys in here right now so you guys can kind of see. You get to see our chickens that are growing. We should be getting to laying stage here anytime, but yeah, as you can see how big they've gotten as well in this process of growing. They've gotten huge, and a lot of them are pretty much full grown almost. They're getting there, but they should be laying eggs here soon. So what we did was, I remember our Bantam chicks, so I extended this coop over into 2 more sections. So this was the end of our original chicken coop, okay, which is 12 by 12. I extended it another 12 feet out, okay. Then I came in here, cut this out right here, and put a new door in so that we can just access the coop from one main door and then access the rest of the coops by those doors, okay. So this is where our Bantams are at right now. And this area right here, they got moved into here from being in our other little mini coop that we had for the roosters a long time ago that we were going to do, but we've actually moved that over as well. As you can see, these little boards in here right now, cornhole boards, were actually being used when we had some tropical storms passing through a couple weeks ago, and we were getting a lot of rain in here, and it was getting flooded very badly. So I was trying to give them access to get up off the ground, that way they weren't standing in water. Our chicken coop only flooded like once because we've already tossed soil in there, but for the most part that stayed pretty dry. But this area was more lower on the property. But as you can see now in here, it's not grass. There's fill dirt that we have a huge pile out back that we put in here, but we put it in the duck area as well, just to help keep flooding from happening. But anyways, this was the extension for that. And I cut it in 2, so now our roosters have a side to live in as well. They have about a 4-foot side, and then the 8-foot on the rest of the side is for right now the Bantams. Eventually might shift into something else because we're figuring out how we're going to do our meat birds. I know we're going to run some tractors probably and stuff for them, let them do chicken tractors. So we're definitely going to do that. But I'll take you into the rooster pen, just put another gate here for it. Right now we still have a big pile of sand sitting here that we haven't really moved, but they actually could get on it if they needed to, if it got too bad. But here is the love shack, okay. This is where we will let our chickens be with hens when they need to be, our roosters be with hens when they need to be, and so forth. But for the most part, this would be where our roosters stay. These are our 3 roosters. They're out of our main chickens. This one, his name's Storm, actually ended up being a rooster and was supposed to be a hen, but that's okay. So now he's in here with Sir Tygon and Johnny Cash. So this is one of our AM Samanis, and then this is our Silky. But I built them this thing in here. It's a little covering here that you can see, and then I built a little roost off top of it, so if it does rain, I do have to do some alterations to this area though, because our runoff from the donkey pen runs straight onto here, which runs straight into the ground, which causes flooding, which is not okay. So I'm going to run a gutter system eventually off of this thing and run it out to the pasture, and if anything I can put a water station right there to fill the water up, to keep free water flowing in there as well. But we put this covering in here to protect them from the rain. They roost up on it. Tygon, he always had a little roost on this other side right here by the door of the main entrance when he used to be in there at night. So he will not roost anywhere else, so I had to move it over here. But he refuses to roost anywhere but on this post. And so I moved it for him, and it's only like maybe a foot off the ground, if that. But we did this to help give our chickens, our roosters their own place, to spread out for an extension, because we couldn't really put any more chickens in here because we were past our square footage per chicken area. So we moved them in here. As you can see, they're all even roosting on their little, almost all of them, but they're all roosting up even now. So they seem to be happy. They're growing. We only lost one of these guys, really due to the fact that he really had, I can't think of the name of it, but his feet were really bad. They were turned in. He was walking on his nubs, so he just had a growing deficiency, and we tried to keep him alive as long as possible. But as you know, with chickens, they're probably not going to be able to survive a whole long walking like that, because they can't scratch the ground. They can't really even walk. You're walking on the nubs of your feet. So he ended up passing away on us a couple weeks ago, but the rest of them are growing well. I'm sure you can tell which ones are Bantams, which ones are Silky, which ones are not. We do remember I have some other chickens in here that are not Bantams, but they will be moved, or all joined together maybe eventually. But we're going to actually build a little area for our Bantams, and I'm going to show you guys kind of where that is real quick. But also these feeders that I used, they have worked great for us for the chickens with the PVC pipes and little connections. And the only issue if you do this is if you're putting them under a main part where you don't want rain to get in them. If you're putting them inside of a total covered area, you won't have any issues. But I sealed them off and then taped them off with some flex tape. And besides that one, all I did was seal that one over there, and no water will get into them ever. The only time water got into this one was when it flooded in here and it was down on the ground, so I had to lift it up some and it got into the front. But other than that, I've had no issues with flooding. So just in case you want to use those kind of feeders, and I don't have to refill them every day. I have 2 in there for them for currently 15 chickens, and I refill maybe every 3 to 4 days. And that would be if they're fully empty. I never let them get fully empty. But for our ducks, they have one, and our geese have one of these, and these have to be refilled every day with our ducks and our geese. And our turkeys, they all eat the same food. The turkeys, for a while, were on a wild game bird feed, but right now we're using a flock grower, which is meant for all types of flocks of birds. So that is what we've been using. Sorry, turkeys messing with each other. But that's that. So that is a total massive update for the farm and what we're doing. We're gonna continue to move on to more. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you guys this. So right here, in this spot right here, excuse the cinder block, working on the extension or the pond, where it come off, we're gonna put another like little coop area right here. It's gonna be 4 foot by 8 foot. It's gonna be for the Bantams and stuff to move them out over, and we're probably gonna move our meat chickens into the middle coop for now, until we figure out a permanent solution for our constant turnaround of adding more and more of those meat chickens as time goes on. But we're gonna do that here too, so I'll show you guys how that kind of looks as it turns out as well. But like I said, I hope you guys are loving the additions. I got one more thing I want to show you real quick that I put in to kind of show you what's going on with that as well. All right, so guys, I'm going to show you kind of what I'm doing for water. Okay, so as you know, we've been running a water hose from that part of the house all the way up there down to here. Okay, so it's literally almost like 300 feet of hose that we've been running. Well, we can't get a 300-foot hose, so we've had constant hose breaking. So what we ended up getting somewhere close to the house is some water totes. Okay, so I have one here and one right there. I'm sure you guys have already seen them and shown to you. So this one right here, I still have to raise up off the ground to actually get some more pressure in, but this one is gonna be used for watering the farm. And off 100-foot hose, we should be able to water all of this area right here, not the whole farm, but the inside of the main part where all of our animals are, other than our cows and our other pigs and stuff like that. So this should be able to water it all, but right now I don't have enough pressure with it sitting that low on the ground. so I have to raise it up so I can get some more pressure and water flow. The other one right here, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. This one right here has been doing its job already perfectly fine. I'm gonna explain it a little bit, that way you guys can understand as well what I'm talking about. So this is where our other one's at. It's not far from the first one, but it's meant for our pastures. So this is for watering the pastures. As you can see, it's been filled once. It's already down here. I went to Lowe's. As you can peep the duct tape. I just did this to make sure my sealant dried. So I just left it on here, but I just got some connectors, connected a hose line to it, and then I did 4 on both my water, as I did to run 4 water hoses off them, okay? So because we don't get a lot of water pressure off one hose, with that, I'm not actually constantly trying to just fill something by hand. So we ran our water valves to, well, this is the closest trough to it. As you can see here, the little giant water valves you can get at Tractor Supply. And once this drops down, it'll fill up and refill the water, okay? And it keeps your water full for your pasture, for your pigs. This is the first one, just a little small 10-foot hose that I have run to that one. But then you can see I have both of our hoses running along here. It's about 75 foot to the farthest one, and then this is 50 foot to the shortest one. This is the other one our cows drink from. We ran a valve off this one, and then right there for our pigs, I ran the other one around there and snaked it around to keep their water full. This allows for, well, our other water hose didn't reach as far, so I couldn't run water out here. So the water tubs allow me to do that. Now, you might be asking, well, how you can't get water pressure from that, so how are you getting it from this? So water pressure is not great out of it, but water does flow through your hoses. So how I had to do this without lifting this water tote up is I connected the first hose to it at the very bottom, ran it to the first water valve system, let it fill up, and then I would cut the next water valve system on, let that one fill up, and then the next one. So you can run one hose at it at a time and you'll get a steady flow of water, but you can't run multiple hoses from it at a time filling up something. So when one water tank now drops in water, it'll refill that one, and they all stay on all the time. And then if the next one drops, they don't always fill up at the same time. So once one refills, I mean, as soon as it drops below water level, they refill. So it's been working really great for us, and I've been using them for like almost a week now, and I haven't had to fill that tank up yet. I'm gonna have to fill it up at some point this week, and so I know that I can run almost 2 weeks off of a tank currently for the pretty much 7 animals that I run on there most of the time, because my donkeys are in the pasture during the day, and at night they're inside in their pen or in their stall. So it runs a consistent 5 animals all the time, but it can run, I know I can run up to 7 animals for 2 weeks and not have any issues with them not having a water source. So that's plus saving me trips trying to fill them up. It's a lot of water and a lot of gallons to refill all the time when they drink a lot of water, especially here in Florida, because it's so hot. But this one's going to be lifted up, and that one will take care of the whole farm in this portion of the farm. Now when we extend more, we might have to get more, but for now that's what we're working on. So I hope you guys are enjoying. Say bye to Pumpkin, Violet. She's just so cute. I couldn't just help not show her again. Look at her running around. She is doing great. She's being a healthy pig. I mean, not a pig. She's being a healthy goat and just growing, and she's eating from the bottle just fantastically. So until next time, guys, this is the massive farm update for me for what we've been doing here the past 2 weeks. I've been not be able to get enough video uploaded of how I normally do things, so I just went ahead and just wanted to do one big one and throw it out here for you guys to kind of see what's been going on here on Tribal Acres. It's just a small part of the stuff that goes around and the stuff we've been doing, but it's exciting times here, and we're slowly just continually expanding and doing more and more things. So until next time, guys, I'll see you later, and keep watching the vids. Thank you. Just subscribe, guys. Hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you guys next time.